The Pixel 6, Google's latest flagship phone that brings high-end design and performance without the price tag. This isn't a minor update, rather the Pixel has been completely redesigned and inside and out, representing, I would say, Google's best smartphone with thanks to the first ever Titan M2 chip. In this review I'll be covering Android 12, the hardware, camera, and why you should definitely buy this phone. G'day, my name is Chris, and before I get into this review, know that I've owned many mobile phones over the years from Samsung, Huawei, Apple and LG, but several years ago I jumped to the Pixel 3 for that stock Android experience and Pixel's industry-leading photography. No mobile phone is perfect, this one included, but oh my gosh, this thing comes pretty damn close. Featuring premium materials, gorgeous screen, new camera system, operating system, all filled to the brim with so many features that I can't fit it into this one video. The Pixel 6 design is daring and achieves something that I think Google has been trying to do for so long and has now succeeded in. I've been a fan of smaller phones for quite a while now, and this one has taken a bit of getting used to. It's actually like a large phone. For me, I'm the sort of one-handed mobile phone user who likes to use his thumb and, well, one hand to do things. When I unwrapped the Pixel 6, I was shocked by how big it is. Measuring 158mm tall, 74.8mm wide and 8.6mm deep, it's thicker than the Pixel 5 and definitely a lot heavier with thanks to its use of premium materials. It feels so good in your hand, albeit slippery. Very, very slippery. This version here is called Sort of Seafoam and I sort of like it, but if I was to buy my own, and please note that this review unit was sent out by the good folks over at Google, and that has not swayed me on anything I'm going to say in this review, and they're seeing this video for the first time just like you are, so yeah, not paid, definitely not an advert. Nonetheless, if I was to buy one of these little suckers, and spoiler alert, yeah, I'll be going for the black one. There's also an optional kind of coral as well, but regardless, all the phones are slippery. If I was to buy one, I'll be getting either a case on this or a skin at a minimum because, yeah, I think that would definitely fix some of the issues that I have with this phone. Like some of the dust and stuff that's collecting in this like little right angle here by the camera bar, and also each time I go to put it on a surface, that just I feel like I'm going to be breaking it. So by buying one of these protective cases will definitely will address a lot of the issues that some people may have with this phone. The 6.4-inch display is made with Corning Gorilla Glass Victus, described by Google as the toughest Gorilla Glass yet, with 2 times better scratch resistance than previous Pixel phones. And one of the things that I can't express to you in words is how it actually feels in your hand. It's smooth, it's continuous, it's liquid almost. And I guess it's with thanks to like the Gorilla Glass 6 on the back, held together with like an alloy frame, that this thing just feels premium through and through. Google says that the phone is IP68 water and dust resistant, and there's also like a finger resistant coating too. However, again, as is glass, it's very prone to picking up your fingerprints and smudges. So yeah, not sponsored, get a skin, get a case. The overall design is minimal, contemporary, and not like what other phone makers have been doing. Up top, you've got like a hole punch camera. This selfie camera is 8 megapixels with f2.0 aperture and an 84-degree field of view. Over on the rear, there's actually a 50 megapixel Octa PD Quad Bayer wide camera at f1.8 and provides some very nice shallow depth of field with thanks to that aperture. There's also a second 12 megapixel ultra wide camera providing 114 degrees field of view. Supposedly there's some lens correction, but if you look at this photograph, you'll notice how the bottle becomes very distorted at the edge of the frame. I'll talk more about photographs and video later in this review, but know this. The cameras in this phone have finally been all updated, and I can tell you that they're excellent and better than what's come before it. And that says a lot. On the bottom you've got the usual USB Type-C 3.1, stereo speakers, and the stereo effect is actually pretty good. Helped not only by them, but also the very tiny little speaker up here that's used for your earpiece. When you watch videos or play games, it actually comes out quite well and it feels quite balanced. So well done to Google. Packed into the Pixel 6 is a suite of sensors like proximity, ambient light, accelerometer, and more. One of the things you'll probably notice in the unboxing intro is that there is no longer a power brick packed with the Pixel, and that is completely fine by me. E-waste is a real problem, and more than likely you have many ways to charge your phone already. So if you do need to go actually buy a new power brick, Google now makes a 30-watt fast charger which will actually fill this from 0 to 50% in about 30 minutes. Or if your battery is near full, it definitely slows down. Battery size is a respectable 4,524 mAh, providing all-day battery life which you'd expect from a brand new phone in 2021. In a one-size-fits-all solution, the Pixel 6 is essentially an entry-level phone now. That performance and materials will make you say, nah, this is not entry-level, this is actually premium. Onboard storage starts at 120 GB and maxes at 256 GB. There'll be some watching this video who'll be wondering if the Pixel 6 Pro or the entry-level 6 is the phone for them. And all I can say is this: regardless of what phone you choose, the 6 or Pro, they both feature the same Google Tensor and Titan security coprocessor. They both have 5 years of Pixel updates, and the only difference with the Pro is its even larger size, a third rear telephoto lens, quad HD screen with up to 120Hz refresh rate. So do you need any of those? If you don't know you do, then the answer is already go for this one. For me, I'm very happy with this phone, and I don't think I need those features to actually feel that I'm missing, well, that I need them rather. So yeah, I'll talk more about that in the conclusion. When you buy a Pixel phone, you're getting the best Android experience. It's the pure Android experience, and in version 12 there is so much going on here that I could do a whole video for an hour just covering some of the stuff that's hidden under the hood. Material U is actually makes this phone a real joy to use and can actually make it a different experience every time you change your wallpaper. I kid you not. Watch how I change the wallpaper from this one to this one, and notice how the font, coloring, hues, shadows and other UI elements all seem to change in line with whatever the predominant colors are in your background. It can be subtle or it can be extreme, but nonetheless, if you want to refresh your phone, just change the background and suddenly you've got like a new phone again. The Underscreen fingerprint reader is okay. It works most of the time, but can be a bit finicky as to placement of where you plunk your little finger on it. Coming back to my history with Pixel phones, when I had the Pixel 4, I loved Face Unlock, but who would have known that face masks and COVID would be a thing? And so for me, wearing face masks almost all day, all the time, even now, I got rid of my Pixel 4 and upgraded to the Pixel 5 for that fingerprint reader. So I welcome that they've got it on here, but for those who actually like Face Unlock, I'm sorry to say it's not on here. Comparing the Pixel 4 to 5 to this, I've got to say the Tensor chip has addressed a lot of the performance issues and stuttering that you may have seen with your Pixel phone. One of the new features has in this update is live translate function of not just like translating text that you've seen in other apps and things for a while, but it's also about real-time interpreting. So I went down to my local mall and asked half a dozen strangers if they'd be part of this video, and here's what happened.
Me va muy bien, ¿cómo va el día para usted? Very good.
Mind-blowing? Absolutely. But one of the issues I have with this phone, and I guess Android 12, is that you have to know the exact phrase of how to get it to work the way you want it to work. So for a few people who said, yeah, we'll be part of the video, Chris, I actually said to the phone, keyword, translate for me. And I was wrong. I should have said, be my interpreter. Sure, in time, you will get to know these things, but because there is so much now in Android 12 and what the Pixel can do, it can be very hard to recall exactly what you need to say to make this phone shine. So if Google allows me to hold this phone for like a little bit longer, please Google, I'll definitely like to spend some more time going into Android 12 and yeah, showing you again what some of these hidden features are that makes this phone special and unique and unlike anything else on the market. Time now to turn to the main event, and that is of course the cameras and what Google calls computational photography. This year, Google has brought to the Pixel 6 a suite of new camera features that no other phone offers. From removing people from backgrounds, motion blur, face unblur, and thankfully, improved video quality. There's a lot to show here, so I'll do my best to do it in as short as time possible. First up, Magic Eraser. Have you ever photographed something and you've had maybe someone in the background ruin it, a typical photobomber? Or perhaps you just wanted to make a streetscape your own? Well, this is amazing. Literally, take any photograph you have. It doesn't have to be in a special mode on the camera app. No, it can be an existing photograph. You then go to Edit, Tools, Magic Eraser, wait a few seconds and the Pixel 6 will identify things that you think you might want deleted. Tap on Erase All and that's it. It's seriously magic, and everyone I'm showing this to is like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. Next is motion mode, and you have two different selections here, either action pan or long exposure. Of course, being excited as I was to get out about and try the camera and its many new modes, I didn't study up on how to make them work properly. So here I am in the city looking mighty silly, trying to get some motion shots. To make them work, you either walk or run, and even if the photograph is say taken at 1:250, the software will create some motion blur and therefore movement in your pictures. It's effective and works, but the cool one here is the long exposure, and then it takes a static object like this tram and make it appear as though it was moving on a long open lens, or long exposure rather. These photographs are the same, by the way. Another one is face unblur. Drawing on Google's artificial intelligence, it uses known elements of a person's face to remake a photograph that is less blurry, where it matters the most, the face. Video, thankfully, is improved on the Pixel 6, and one of my criticisms of the previous Pixel phones has been the lackluster performance, noisy composition, and sometimes smooth, not smooth, skin tones that appear smooth, but also the frame rate that could be a little bit stuttery and broken. But now, with thanks to its new camera system, codecs, and the Tensor chip, HDR recording in 4K is possible, providing rich, vivid colors, improved nighttime performance beyond anything I've seen, and excellent skin tone mapping. Sure, if you're a social photographer with a cute little dog like Donut here, then putting it onto Instagram might be lost, or TikTok. Yeah, you won't be able to see the quality, but look closer and you just see how sharp and clean this video now is. In lower light, like this dark restaurant in the city, there's a bit too much noise for my liking, but it's vastly better than previous Pixel phones. And weirdly, it looks amazing when outdoors at this popular nighttime photographic point in Melbourne. Shot using one of the stabilizer modes, watch how I'm actually moving the camera up and down, left and right, whilst the actual recorded image appears as though it's been shot on a tripod. The synergy of Google cameras and AI make the Pixel 6 the best phone in its class, and it's actually really hard to take a bad photograph. Nighttime photography is beautiful, and every photograph I kept saying to my son, oh my god, check this out, look at this is amazing. He was getting sick of me by the end of the night, but I just can't tell you that the level of photography that comes out of this, you'll actually want to leave your SLR camera at home, or probably even sell it, because this does it better. What are my final thoughts, and should you upgrade from a Pixel 5 to this? Aside from the slippery glass, the camera bar that's going to be a dust magnet, and the size that is actually basically a large phone, or if not larger if you go for the 6 Pro, these few shortcomings are easily forgivable. I always buy my phones outright, meaning that I always put a protective case on them, and in doing that, we'll address the slippery nature of this, hide maybe the gunk that's going to be accumulating there over time, and stop that jarring sound when you put the phone down, on a surface. I spoke earlier how that this phone should be the one in 2021 that everyone else compares it to, particularly Apple, who ask more than double the price for a phone that is far less featured. If you own a Pixel 5, 4 or 3, I highly recommend you upgrading to this. It's actually leaps and bounds better. Everything is faster, more premium, more resolved, more capable. It's the best representation of Pixel yet. If you're on the fence about the extra $300 stretching for the Google Pixel 6 Pro rather, I would ask you this. With that 12 gigabytes of RAM, larger screen with like 120 Hz refresh rate, telephoto lens with 4K selfie camera, are they the features you need and use every single day? Then the answer is yes, go for it. No harm, no foul, it's only $300 extra. Whereas if you're happy with a premium high-end phone that's more than capable and costs less than $1,000, this is a no-brainer. Just go and buy it now. Google have knocked the Pixel 6 for a home run, and I really do hope that this one is the phone that everyone actually wants and is benchmarked against. It is honest to goodness that good. And again, I'd like to say thank you to Google in providing a review unit for this phone. And if you've enjoyed this video to this far, subscribe, it's absolutely free. I'll try and do some more content around this before I'm asked to return it. But otherwise, yeah, please, you be good and you be great.